Hi, Mike Canning here from the Iron On Transfer Guy, and today I'd like to discuss Canva, an online graphics design tool. Basically, this tool will enable you to do stuff like letterheads, business cards, do a logo for your website, and various other little things like leaflets, and you can also do little videos for Facebook and stuff like that. It's quite comprehensive in all the things that it does, but the one thing that it's not very good at, unfortunately, is to produce logos, business logos really, that can be applied to various other mediums like garments, or using it for putting stuff on your van or whatever. Anything that's outside of a hard copy environment, it doesn't really work that well. We have a lot of customers that do use this particular piece of software, Canva, and they tend to send us stuff that is not really possible to produce transfers from. I'll give you a bit of an example. So if I get into this thing, we go to a logo maker, and we're going to create a logo. So this is going to be your business logo basically, and what they generally tend to do is they'll use one of the templates that are provided by Canva in order to produce quickly a logo for themselves. Now, that's all well and good. Not everybody, a bricklayer or a carpenter or an electrician or whoever you might be, you're not graphic designers, so this is fantastic. It can enable you to do this for yourself. The unfortunate part about it is a large majority of these templates are basically not worth using as a logo for your own company. It's okay. A lot of this stuff you will see, you can make up nice business cards and things like that, but when it comes to putting stuff on garments that has to be printed or print and cut, this sort of stuff really is not good graphic design. A lot of people go with this sort of thing. We've seen a lot of this type of thing with the double ring and the flowers and a little bit of information, tiny little text, sort of cursive type, larger text in it. We've also seen this one here, seems to be quite popular, again with almost a circle, cursive text, small, sort of Times Roman type text there, and unfortunately, if you were to come to us for producing a transfer, this would not be possible without us doing a sort of background. We would have to put a background on the back of that basically, because we cannot grade out and cut circles like this. And obviously, if it's going to be a pocket size transfer that goes on the left breast of your garment, and you can imagine if this was 7 centimeters or 6 centimeters in diameter, how small this text would be, and we would have to cut that out because we use a print and cut process. So basically we print on a white sheet of PU vinyl, and then we cut out whatever we printed onto it. This would not work, and it doesn't work for a lot of other things as well, because at the end of the day, if you can imagine how small that text is going to be for the amount of print that's actually going to be on your garment, it's going to wash away very, very quickly. So these sort of things are not great. If you were to use Canva, however, and you wanted to create a logo that is good for literally everything, to go on a van or to go on your garments or to do whatever, it is possible to do. I mean, if you look at this one, for argument's sake, now With a transparent background, it wouldn't be great, to be honest with you, especially if it's maybe 6 centimeters diameter or 7 or 8 centimeters diameter. But if you do the thing with a circle, then it would be fine. So let me just explain what I'm talking about here. So let's just change that color to, just going to change it to grey so that we can get a general idea of what I'm talking about. So in Canva, if you go to the element section and you choose a circle, then if you put that circle behind the circle, then what you've done is you've taken away the transparent background. But let me just right click on this, I think that's what you do, and send this to the back. Might have to send it to the back a few times. Okay, so what you've got there now is you've got your original logo circle. You'll change the text obviously to suit you. You'll probably put a different type of image in there. And all you have to do with this is just change that color to black, and there you go. You have now got a logo that looks very, very nice. Will go on any garment. Obviously the color can be, the background color can be any color you like. You know, you can change all these colors as well. You can make these black and put a white background color on it, but that would be fine. Let's just have a look at some other examples that you could do. So this particular thing here, this would not be suitable. Again, if you're doing a 7 centimeter or 6 centimeter, can you imagine how small this text is going to be? So again, if you want to put a circle around it, then that would be fine. Let's just see what else there might be here. If you wanted something with some text in it, with a little logo on the front of text, look at this one here for argument's sake. So if we looked at this, we picked the color one, and the problem with this would be that this text is too small, so you would change that to whatever text you wanted. You change this to whatever text you wanted, and this particular text at 6 to 7 centimeters wide would be too small. So what can we do with that? Again, we can go to the elements and we can choose a one of these little squares or rectangles. We can use this and we can place this over, if I can get hold of it. There we go. We can place this over, or behind, I should say, behind the main text. Just make it a little bit bigger. Bring that down a tiny bit. And we could do again another one, and we can place this one here. Just bring that down. Send it to the back. Just right click to send to the back. Send to back. Go to the back. Alright, let me just move that, because what it is, it's probably gone to the back, but the color of this text is the same color as the banner there. So let's just change the banner. Let's change that to white, and then place that back in here. So now what you've got, I'm just going to use the down arrow on the keyboard just to be a bit more precise with that. Okay, so let's bring it up a little bit more, and we use that there. Bring that down a bit with the down arrow again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this bottom to be lighter. So, and then if I take this one, not that one, that one, let's just move that text out of the way for a second, because it's quite difficult. All these layers, they seem to layer in front of each other and stop you from doing anything from the back. So I'm going to send that to the back like that, and then I'm going to bring this down here, and I'm going to put that in there, and if I can get hold of this, I'm just going to bring this down like this, make it a bit smaller, and just move the text a little bit, and there you go. Now that can actually be printed. This particular part of this particular template is fine. That can be cut and printed. Your text can now be printed. It's in the colors. We can change this color to be slightly lighter. Let me just see if I can. Okay, now I can get on that, and I'm going to make that slightly lighter. Okay, so we'll bring that in so that the colors are now a little bit more uniform, and bring that back, and there you go. I mean, that's quite a nice looking logo, really. And again, that will go on anything. That will go on a skyscraper, will go on a lorry, will go on your hats and caps, and will go on the left breast of your garment. Let's have another look. Let's just do one more. Let's go back to, where are we going? How do we get back to, suppose we have to use this. Nope, that's not how we get back, but anyway. So the thing is, using the logo maker, so you go in there, use the logo maker, and you design your logo. Thing is, with a lot of these online editor things, they are a little bit difficult to work with. They can be a bit of a pain in the butt, and you know, so it's a bit of trial and error. Always make sure that you're saving everything while you're doing it, otherwise you could end up losing whatever you're doing. There is one other option that is possible. So if you're not going to use, let's have a look at the elements first. Okay, so all these elements, you could use a circle, you can use a square, you can make the square a rectangle, you can have straight edges, can have curved edges. You can use all those things for your design, basically. So the more intricate, the more small that you want that design to be, you know, if you want stuff like this, then you are going to have to put background behind it. If you want something like this, you know, I mean, this is absolutely impossible. This cannot be cut, and in other formats as well, although it can be printed, it's not going to last very long. So if I was doing that, I would actually just do that as you know, I just put if you really needed that, you needed something like that, and you just can't live without it, then I would just put a rectangle. I'd just use a rectangle behind that, like so. I'll bring that down a bit, and let's change the color. So let's make that black, and let's make the background, just so that we can see what we're doing. Let's just make the background. Oh, I thought I was making a background. Okay, so how do we get to the background? Here we go. There's the background. I'm making the assumption that this is the background. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so if we just bring this to the back, again using the right key on your mouse, and then go center back. So I would just do something like that, basically, very, very simple. But that would look good on the left breast, even though it has got a rectangle. It still looks nice. It still looks very classical, and that would suit. That would also go, as I say, on anything else. You know, if you're doing the top left-hand corner of your website, then that would fit quite nicely in there, even with the rectangle. There is one other thing that is possible. So if we just look at this for argument's sake, I need to get rid of all the back end stuff. Just get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this. Okay, let's just get the okay, so if we just bring this in, okay, so this is great, but as you can see, it has a transparent background, and this tiny little text here, if it was a 7 or 8 centimeter wide logo, would just be too small to cut. Also, there's very thin lines in this and everything. So what can be done, let me just change this to a more, let's just change that to that. Okay, so what you can do in Canva is, if you've got something similar to this, it doesn't necessarily have to be, I'll do a couple and I'll show you what I mean. So what you can do is, in Canva, if you bring in your own artwork, like I've uploaded this from my desktop, if you go to the edit image, once you've got it on the canvas there, and if you're looking at shadows here, so if you click on shadows and then you click on glow, okay, now what you can do with that, you click on glow again, because here you can see that there's some filters here. So what you can do with this is, as you can see there, you can use a filter to put that glow on the background. Okay, then what you can do is remove the transparency, expand the transparency, and get rid of the blur. So you just take that down. Okay, so now what you've got is the very same thing that I was talking about. You can make it a little bit smaller until you start seeing stuff actually inside. So you can see there you've got bits in there. You need to make sure that they're gone. And there you have it. You have a nice contoured background for your logo. Again, the color of that can be any color you like. You just go up to here and just change the colors and such like. Let me just do another one. Let's get rid of this. And we've got another one here which is similar. Okay, so it's a line drawing. There's no way that we would be picking out every single little piece of this. So we go to the edit again and go to the wait a minute, go to the shadows, go to glow, okay, and then we're going to go to the filters, and we are going to expand that until we filled virtually the whole thing. So this is quite a big outline, but if you decided that you didn't want it that big, you could just say to us, can you thin out the outline a little bit, and we will thin it out for you when we receive your artwork. So we need to bring that up. We need to get rid of the glow, and there you have it. So there you have a very nice, you could change the color of that again. Black might not be what you want on that. I think it's also got, if I can remember rightly, does it not have some text? There was some text in here. But you could always put that text back in here by just simply using the text. Just find a font that you like, and just put that whatever that text was back in here, because obviously it's blown it over. It was so small that it's just blown it out. But there you go. So there's two options if you've got a really complicated job like that. And I'll just give you an example of what we can do if you've had to blow it out too much. Once you've actually sorted out your logo, then what you need to do is you need to make your logo as big as possible within the canvas area on Canva. Okay, because it's the canvas area that it tells you is the size. We need to get this as big as we possibly can. So the bigger it can be, the better that the actual transfer is going to become. So we're making this nice and big on here. And then what you need to do is you need to go to share. Okay, so you go up to share, and in here you would download. You'd hit the download button, and you can then expand the image. So you expand the image as big as you can possibly get it. Use a PNG file. Do not use a vector file or anything else, because sometimes it tends to lose. So don't use an SVG to create a vector. Just use a PNG, which is the best thing. Put the transparent background on it, obviously, and then you just download that image. Just do not forget to expand your artwork as big as the actual canvas. Okay, so we'll just download this one, and I'll give you an example of how we can take a little bit of that contour out. So let's just download that, and I shall now open up our program that we use for drawing all your logos and stuff, and I shall be back in just 1 second. Okay, so here we are in our drawing program that we use in which to produce your transfers. And basically what we would do with this to make this a little bit thinner, because it's a little bit thick basically, and it seems to be overpowering the actual design itself. So we would just do two quick things. We would just trace that particular thing, and we go OK on that, and then basically we'll just ungroup everything. World, so all we're looking for is the outline, and just do that again, break the curve, and we weld it, so we've got this outline now. Okay, so what we're then going to do is put an inner contour onto this. So I'm going to try it at 1 centimeter, but just to see how that would work. Let's just go into wireframe, just want to see. Okay, so that's not enough, so I'm going to do, say, 3, and that is probably better. Let's try 4 for argument's sake. Let's go 4. Okay, let's just do that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to break this up, and we're going to take off the original one, and then we're going to put the contour line on that. So what a contour line basically is, the cut line is how we tell the printer where to cut the design out. So we use a specific non-generic color in which to do that, so it doesn't get confused. This color is only ever used to cut something. So we'll do that, and if we just go back into the view section, there you can see that there's a line there, just to give you a better idea of what that would look like. I'm just going to put this on the back there, and just going to grab that, and just go combine, and then change color, and that gives you the idea of how it could look. So what we've done is we've minimized the contour, which looks very, very nice indeed. That would look fantastic on your garment, would look great at the top left hand corner of your website, would great on a business card. Obviously with a business card it probably wouldn't need the contour, but you know, that is something that you can do to use Canva, and using Canva's templates basically, that, to be quite honest, are not suitable. Canva's templates are not suitable for garment production. So, but you can use it as long as you're happy to put backgrounds on, whether it be a rectangle, whether it be a circle, whether it be a contour border or anything like that. You can use Canva, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with using it. The other thing is that unfortunately you cannot use the free version of Canva, because the free version of Canva it limits you to what you can do, and quite frankly it just does not give you the capability of doing some of the things that I showed you. So you are going to try, if you're just getting a one-off logo, you want to do a one-off logo in Canva, take up the 30-day trial, and just use the 30-day trial to produce your logo. Anyway, I hope that's been of some value to you, and I look forward in the future to receiving some of your Canva logos to produce transfers for you. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye.